The thought that goes through every mother's mind, but that we're too afraid to say out loud. Am I doing enough? Am I enough? It hits you at 2 a.m. when they have a fever and you're Googling symptoms for the third time. It hits you when other mothers seem to have it all figured out and you're just trying to keep everyone fed and alive. It hits you when you lose your patience and immediately feel guilty. It hits you when they struggle with something and you wonder if it's your fault. Am I doing enough? Am I enough? If you've ever had that thought, and I'm betting you have, this video is for you. Because what I've learned after walking the motherhood path over 2 decades is that the feeling we think make us bad mothers are actually the feelings that prove we're good ones. Today, I want to talk about the universal experiences that every mother has but thinks she's alone in having them. If you're new to this channel, I'm Ronnie from Third Act Society. And if you're a regular guest, welcome back. I thank you for your support. I hope you remember to share this channel with other women who are in need of this message. Okay, back to today's video. Let me be honest about something. We all have a secret inner life as mothers that we don't talk about in public. The moment when you're so exhausted, you actually resent being needed. Then immediately feel guilty for that resentment. The times when you hide in the bathroom just to have 30 seconds to yourself, then feel selfish for wanting space from your own children. The night when you lie awake wondering if you're screwing them up. The days when you feel like you're failing at everything. Work, motherhood, marriage, friendship, and you can't figure out how other women make it look so easy. The guilt that hits you when you enjoy time away from them. The guilt that hits you when you don't enjoy time with them. The guilt about the guilt about the guilt. The moment when you look at them sleeping and your heart breaks and how much you love them. Followed immediately by the fear that something terrible might happen to them. Followed by the anxiety about whether you're protecting them enough. The exhaustion that goes so deep you forget who you were before you had to keep track of everyone else's needs. The identity confusion that hits you when someone asks you what you want and you realize you genuinely don't know anymore. The loneliness of being surrounded by people who need you constantly, but feeling like no one really sees you or asks how you're doing. These thoughts, these feelings, these moments of doubt and overwhelm and love so fierce, it terrifies you. We all have them, but we don't talk about them because we think having them means we're not good mothers. Here's what happens when we don't talk about these universal experiences. We start to believe we're the only ones having them. You see other mothers at sporting events and activities who seem to have their act together, and you assume they don't lie awake at 3 a.m. questioning every parenting decisions they've ever made. You scroll through social media and you see happy family photos and you forget that everyone is struggling with something behind those carefully curated images. You hear other mothers talk about how fulfilling motherhood is, and you feel guilty for the days when it feels overwhelming rather than fulfilling. So you keep the hard thoughts to yourself. You smile and say, I'm fine. When someone asks you how you're doing, you pretend you've got it all figured out because admitting you don't feels like admitting you're failing. But here's the truth. The mother who looks like she has it all together, she's had the same 3 a.m. anxiety spiral you've had. The mother who seems naturally patient, she's hidden in her car to cry after losing her temper too. The mother who makes everything looks effortless, she's questioned whether she's enough at least 1,000 times. And if you're tired of feeling alone in these experiences, I want you to know about the free community I'm building for mothers who are ready to be honest about the hard part. The link is below, because you shouldn't have to carry these feelings by yourself. Because here's what I've discovered after years of talking with mothers from all different backgrounds, circumstances, and parenting style. Beneath all of our differences, we share the same core experiences. It doesn't matter if you're a stay-at-home mom or working outside the house like I did. It doesn't matter if you have one child or 5 like my girlfriend does. It doesn't matter if you're married or single like me, wealthy or struggling financially. The fundamental experiences of mother, the love, the worry, the guilt, the exhaustion, the moments of doubt, they are universal. We all love our children so much it physically hurts sometimes. We all worry about their future in ways that keeps us awake at night. We all question our decisions and wonder if we're doing it right. We all have moments when we feel like we're failing at the most important job we've ever had. We all have days when we give everything we have to our families and it still feels like it's not enough. We all struggle with the loss of individual identity that happens when you become responsible for another human being. We all miss the parts of our pre-motherhood self while simultaneously being grateful for who we've grown into. We all experience the heartbreak of watching them grow up, proud of their independence and terrified of their independence at the exact same time. We all have that moment when we realize we do anything, sacrifice anything, give up anything for their well-being, and then we are worried about whether that level of devotion is healthy for them or for us. The details might be different, but the feelings underneath, they're all the same for all of us. And there's something profound that happens. And there's something profound that happens when you realize you're not alone in these experiences. The guilt you feel about wanting time to yourself, normal. The anxiety about whether you're making the right decisions, universal. The exhaustion that goes deeper than just needing sleep. Every mother knows that feeling. The conflicted emotions about your children growing up, the fierce protectiveness that bothers on irrational, the way motherhood changes everything about how you see the world. We've all been there. When you stop thinking these feelings make you a bad mother and start understanding they make you a human mother, everything shifts. When you realize that the intensity of your worry is proportional to the intensity of your love, it stops feeling like weakness and start feeling like proof of how much you care. The thoughts that felt shameful when you thought you were alone with them become the connecting point when you realize everyone shares this shared experience of motherhood. The beautiful, terrifying, overwhelming, joyful reality of loving someone this much. That's exactly what I explored in my memoir titled Slipping Through My Fingers. What every mother feels and what every daughter will one day understand. It comes out October 10th. And if these universal experiences resonate with you, you'll see yourself The pre-order link is below. Because here's the thing that gives me hope. Every daughter will one day understand what their mothers went through. The worry that kept you awake when they were babies, they'll feel that with their own children. The guilt about not being perfect, they'll experience that too. The overwhelming love that changed everything about who you are, they'll discover what that feels like. All the moments when you felt like you were failing them, when you lost your patience, when you didn't handle something perfectly, they'll understand that you were doing the best with what you had in that moment. They'll understand that the times you seem overprotective came from love, not control. They'll understand that the sacrifices you made weren't obligations, they were choices driven by how much you cared. They'll understand that motherhood is the most humbling, transforming, and possible beautiful thing you can do. And they'll finally understand that you were never supposed to be perfect. You were just supposed to love them. Which you did, which you do. One day, they'll look at their own children and think, now I understand what my mother felt. And in that moment, they'll forgive you for not being perfect because they realize perfection was never the... So, if you're carrying these feelings alone, if you've been thinking that having doubts or struggles makes you different from other mothers, I want you to know you're not alone. You're not broken. You're not failing. You're having the normal human experience of loving someone so much that it turns your entire world upside down. The exhaustion you feel, valid. The guilt you carry, universal. The worry that keeps you up at night, proof of how much you care. The moments when you don't enjoy every second of motherhood, totally normal. The times when you feel lost in your role as a mother, everyone goes through that. The identity confusion, the overwhelming responsibility, the fierce protectiveness. We all know these feelings. You're not the only mother who has ever felt overwhelmed, underprepared, or uncertain. You're part of a long line of women who have all questioned whether they were doing enough, whether they were enough, and you don't have to figure it out. Join other mothers who are sharing these honest conversations in our free community, because when you stop pretending everything is perfect and start being real about the hard part, that's when we find support. The feelings you think make you alone actually connect you to every mother who has ever lived. The doubts you think make you weak actually prove how much you care. The imperfections you think disqualifies you actually make you human. If this resonated with you, if you felt less alone listening to this, please subscribe. I share videos every week about the real experience of motherhood. Not the perfect version, but the true version. Because what every mother feels is valid. What every mother experiences matters. And what every daughter will one day understand is that their mother loved more than words could ever express. You're not alone. You never were. If this hits home, share a thought or two in the comment, because there's a woman out there who needs to read your comment.